Hey everybody, just got the MORBOT Scout in the mail from Amazon, so I wanted to do a quick unboxing as I opened it, show you what you get inside. This is a autonomous robot that you can use to drive around your house and learn programming and coding and stuff like that, so I'm really excited about this one. So let's open it up real quick and see what we got inside. Okay. So padded inside the lid. We've got the instructions. We'll go through that later. Looks like it's all app controlled. There's the user manual right there. Not a lot to the instruction manual. I guess it's just a quick start guide. I'm sure there's a lot more on the app. And here's the actual Scout robot. Very cool. It's got the omnidirectional wheels. It's got a power switch right there. I'm gonna wait to turn it on wait to read everything before I turn it on, but it's very dense, feels heavy, well built. Very cool. I'm excited about this one. So there's the Scout itself. Then there is the docking station, charging station. Looks like it's got a QR code so it can line itself up. That's super cool. And then we got a USB cable, and then lubricating for Mecanum wheels. Lubricant for Mecanum wheels. Okay. And it looks like that's everything in the box. So not a lot to it. I will read the manual, figure out how to use this guy, and follow up with more. All right, real quick, I did want to follow up. I noticed in the what's in the box, there's 2 adhesive tapes. I didn't see any inside the box, but I did realize that there's one already applied to the bottom of the charging dock, and the other one was actually in the wall, in between the foam wall of the box. I pulled the foam out and it was stuck right in there like that. So you do get 2 adhesive tapes. Make sure you get that out before you throw the box away. Okay guys, after the unboxing, I've had a chance to play with the MORBOT Scout quite a bit, and I've got some feedback. Most of it's positive, but there is some negative. Overall, this thing's a lot of fun. I would consider it a remote-controlled security camera that you can drive around your house. Overall, I'm very happy with it, and it's a lot of fun, but I will go through some likes and dislikes real quick. First off, you get a docking station, and it auto-docks. It's on right now, but when it's off, when you first plug it in, it makes that chirping electronic sound to let you know that it's charging. And you'll see these 4 dots on the top of it. And as it's charging, it's basically 25% power, 50% power, 75, and then 100. So you do have battery indication there. It lines itself up when it's docking with this QR code on the docking station, and then it automatically positions itself. It does a 180, positions itself, and then backs up onto its docking station. With these special omnidirectional wheels, they're kind of a rubberized plastic, and I found out they work decently well on the ground, on the hardwood floors, but when it's moving fast, they do kind of lose their traction. So it was having trouble turning, and it would line itself up right using the QR code, but as it would get itself in position, when it would rotate and back up, it was having trouble getting itself onto the dock with the hardwood floors. So I put this rubberized foam mat down, and that made a world of difference, and it's been able to get itself up onto the dock every time now. Also, I did have to offset it a little bit. You can see this is kind of slightly offset. When it spun in its circle, it wouldn't do like a full rotation. It would kind of stop part of the way around, so that when it went back onto the docking station, it was slightly off. So I found just cantering it a little bit and using the adhesive on the bottom of the pad, it lines itself up every time now automatically. So those were the fixes for that. I've been keeping it slid underneath this table here so it's out of sight, but I'll show you how it works real quick. So you go to patrol or monitor. Patrol is your preset patrols that you have already input into the system. I'll say one thing about the patrols here in a second, but first I want to show you the monitor. I'm going to allow that. Okay, as you can see, let me increase my brightness here a little bit. All right, so this is showing you the different functions since I just installed it here. Return, smart detect, smart patrol, intercom, voice, record, take photo. Got it. Okay, so we're ready to go. It's connected, we've got good signal, it's on the charger. Okay. So as you can see, he's driving now. Now, this button on the right causes it to rotate in place. So that's your spin, and then this is every direction in a straight line. So straight forward is straight forward, straight back is straight back, and then using those omnidirectional wheels, straight to the right, you can see he slides to the right, and straight to the left, you can see he slides straight to the left. So you have full control over the Scout. As you're driving it. So in that respect, it works really great, and I'm happy with it. Now that I'm close enough to the table, you can see here on the camera is picking up the QR code. So if I hit this return to charger button, it says up in the corner there, Scout is returning. You can see that red box lights up around it. It locks on, and now it's going to go through its auto docking process. Its camera clicks on and off, and it gets itself lined up perfectly. It gets that QR code right in the middle of the camera. Locks on, gets close. Now it's doing its rotation. It's tweaking itself on. And there it made that little chirping sound. And up in the corner you can see it's now, the battery's charging. So that works really cool. Now that I got it all figured out, it will charge itself, it will dock itself, it will do all those things. Super happy with that as far as just driving the house around, or driving a camera around the house. To launch it again, you just hit this little launch button. Now, you see this little box lit up here, and what this is doing is this is its path planning, and this is for your auto routes. And this is what a lot of the people are complaining about, I've noticed in other reviews. As you can see, as I start driving, the Scout starts moving through this green cone, and it starts forming a blue line as you drive it around. You can see I'm not driving in a straight line. And it is sliding a little bit on the floors, so it's not a perfect translation of movement. But the Scout is recording its path as it drives. Now the problem is you're recording a path, but all that Scout is doing is recording a basic set of movements. So it's just going through those movements. And when you go to rerun that path, it's just going to go through those same movements. The problem with that is if you lose traction on the floor because it's sliding, or if you move something, it's just going to drive and go through those same movements. It's not actually like mapping your house. It's I read on the Moorebot website that they actually can't do that for privacy reasons and concerns. They're not allowed to map your house. So all it's doing is recording a set of preset movements. Even your spins and stuff like that, it's not really recording those spins. Now it does have some basic obstacle avoidance. It won't like continue running into a wall. It knows it's blocked and it will try to find a path around it. But I've found if you go to try and run this path, if it can't match that path directly, it just gets lost. So this autonomous roaming your house thing, that function isn't quite there yet, and that's one of my big pet peeves. Not really a pet peeve. I don't really have much use for that anyway, but the idea is you're supposed to be able to just hit the patrol button and the Scout will automatically start driving around your house in the same preset patrol. And again, in my experience, that doesn't seem to work very well. I have yet to have it automatically follow a complete route through the house, no matter how careful I am planning it. The capability's there. It's still fun. You can still drive it. It does decently well on carpet. I'll show you that. Get them lined up. So it's doing okay. I can drive through the whole house with no issues. So as far as just driving around the house, a little camera that you can remotely access when you're away from home and explore your house. In that respect, it works fantastic. My only other concern, my only other problem, and I think this is enough to lower it a star for me, even though I love it. I've got decent Wi-Fi throughout my house. I've got a decent router signal, but it constantly drops Wi-Fi. And I get that sometimes it goes around corners and it's going around obstacles and stuff like that. And I get that kind of interferes with the Wi-Fi signal, but it drops Wi-Fi enough when I'm away from the house for it to be inconvenient. And my biggest concern with that, the biggest problem that I found is sometimes it drops Wi-Fi signal and then it disconnects itself from the router, from the network. So not only does it not connect to the Wi-Fi, most of the time that's fine. If it disconnects, it reconnects itself. But every once in a while, it disconnects from the Wi-Fi and deletes the network info, so I can't reconnect to it. It shows the info up here that you're connected. It shows the phone's connected to the router and the router's connected to the Scout. But sometimes the Scout disconnects from the router and loses the information how to reconnect. So the other day that happened, I was controlling it, driving it when I was away from home, and I tried, it lost signal, it kicked itself off, and it wouldn't reconnect. So it was just sitting there dead when I came home later on that night. I was just sitting in the middle of the floor because it never was able to reconnect. So not sure why it's doing that. It's not a huge deal. It's not like I'm relying on it for anything. To me, it's just a fun toy. And if you consider it that, just a fun toy to drive around your house, I think it's super cool. It does have some programming stuff, and you can do like programming in code and do different, set up different programming stuff. And that's something that I'm really excited to mess with and I'm really curious about. So I don't think the technology is quite dialed in as far as expecting it to do autonomous missions through your house. That's a little bit off, and I'm a little bit frustrated with it losing connection all the time. But overall, I'm very happy with Scout. It's super fun. It's fun to just drive around a camera through your house while we're away from home. So super impressed with it. I'm happy with it. Couple of little inconveniences and nuances, but overall, this is a really cool product. So hope this review was helpful for you guys.